Hello my friends, welcome to this quick commentary or like a walkthrough through my game where I'm showing you my thoughts that I'm having in the games I play. Who am I to tell you though? I was a full-time pro player, reached challenger the past 5 years, and now let's go straight into the video. So I'm playing Lucian and Thresh into Aphelios and Ari level 1. So basically whenever I have the strongest level 1 or like the stronger level 1 than the enemy, then I'm just going into this bush, putting down a ward and then probably just face checking. Because if the enemies would actually come into my side now and they would check me, then it's pretty easy to play. So what happens here is that my Thresh is actually hitting a really nice hook, a mistake I did, and I will also point out my mistakes. Like obviously I'm not only going over sequences that went good. I should use my auto attack before using my W, because by that I will immediately proc my PTA, which I didn't do that good here, but it is what it is. And then we're just getting free kill. Now something really important that already or is happening in a lot of coaching sessions that I see, people are always running up when they get situations like this and try to jack the wave into like this kind of bush, you know. And the reason why people are doing it is because they want to like get like a bounce into their side or something. But this is really whatever. Like in my opinion, what people should do is just let the minions be in a neutral position, and then the moment the first 3 melee minions are taking aggro, then it's way easier for us to actually click into the enemies, because the enemy cannot do anything. So if I let it play like I'm doing here, then you see, okay, now we can just easily step up and the Lucian cannot really farm anymore because it's really hard for him. I'm having an aggressive body language and just zoning him away. So right now I got a kill level 1 basically, so I know that also we are having like a good amount of gold, and my plan now is to play the first 3 waves as good as I can. So let's say we would have the first 3 waves, then my thought process is, okay, I probably want to slow push the first, slow push the second, and then I get a crash on the third wave. And then when actually crashing the third wave, you have a lot of options. So you can either go like into invading enemy jungle, for example. Your support can go mid lane, right? Like just roam, you can base, you can trap in lane and actually wait until the wave is bouncing into your side again. So you will have a lot of options that you can actually take. So what I'm trying to do is simply zone the enemy as hard as I can so they don't get XP or any sort of gold. And then now you see here, my third wave is actually coming in. So what I'm doing is pretty simple. I'm just hard pushing the third wave as I showed you, and now I'm just taking the reset. And now it's really important that to know that the wave will bounce into my side. So I'm already looking at the wave, but also at the fight. So here the Ari goes in. I'm not really hesitating because I know that we have numbers, right? Like we should be more than the enemies. So for me, this will never ever be a losing fight. So I see my team fighting there, winning kinda. Now I'm just going onto the Ari, and the mistake I'm doing here is I'm short dashing on this one. Now with the next auto she would be dead, of course, but I didn't know that she still has heal up, so what I did was pretty bad. I should have waited one more auto and then used my E. And now, yeah, the Aphelios is pretty cooked because he needs to crash his wave. My team is actually going for him. And also something a lot of AD carries would do now is like run onto the kill and like look to get the kill, you know. But guys, there are 2 waves in my turret, or like 1.5 waves. I need to take this wave, and I am also, which is like really important, I'm pinging my team away that I'm like not joining this, you know. So I will not move for this play. If my team wants to do the play, it's a 2-man play for them, and I'm just taking the wave. The next wave, pretty simple, I'm just pushing in, and now I know, okay, the wave actually pushed into the enemy turret here, so now the wave will bounce into my side, which is super free again. So now I'm coming back to lane, and the Aphelios is actually hard pushing. He is doing a huge mistake here, and what I should do now is not queue like this. I should just take the first 2 minions and then move into the bush, because by that I can actually maintain a freeze here. Now I'm like queuing 6 minions, so it will not be that nice. But the takeaway should be for everyone that is seeing this, that you should actually look to kind of freeze onto the enemy. Because if he would base now and I would maintain the freeze, then he's just losing a full wave, like instead of auto pushing every single wave that you see. So now you see here the Aphelios is like kind of stuck in lane because he's not able to crash the wave. So it's pretty simple. I'm just dashing onto him using my barrier aggressive, even though I didn't play it like good mechanically. He's pretty cooked. He cannot do anything against this. My support is first, which is like nice, right? For me. So again, I'm just pushing in the wave, getting the clean crash, and now I'm basing again, knowing that the Aphelios is pretty cooked onto the next waves. Now, another important part is whenever you see a wave and you basically don't have a reason to hit the wave like I'm doing here, then don't do it. That's why like slow pushing, always your default, right? If you don't have a reason to hit a wave, don't do it. Always think about it. And here I don't have a reason, so what I'm doing instead though is that I'm just slow pushing. Slow, so slow. And then eventually, like on specific timer, you know, I slow push 2 waves, and now on a specific timer, like third wave, I'm just looking to crash the wave. So here it's same thing again, and it's just hard push, way too hard. So now the wave will be in a middle position again, and by this it's really easy to just click into this bush, and then potentially if the enemies look for anything, then I can just step up and hit them. And I don't even need my thresh to do it, you know. Like here, for example, if I auto and then E downwards and then use my Q, then I'm probably just getting a free frag onto the Aphelos here. I'm using my barrier aggressive, you see this all the time, so I'm like basically getting the max value out of my barrier. And the Ari is now not blocking ult because she's tilted or something, and I'm just getting a free frag onto the Aphelos, crashing another wave, now pushing another wave, and now just taking my recall and getting back to lane. So now I would say my position in lane is already pretty nice. We can like sometimes look at my CS numbers a bit. I have 90 CS now, minute 9, which is pretty nice. So out of laning phase, I would say I have a pretty good start. Now I'm just going back to, or like I went back to wave, and the reason why I hard pushed it now is because I wanted to get my item spike, right? So I went base, I bought my Ascent Reaver, and yeah, now I'm pretty strong. I would say the enemies have a really hard time now landing in against me if I'm playing it like a good player. And yeah, by that the laning phase is also like pretty over, I would say. Like there's not that much happening anymore. The enemies don't really go bot lane anymore, and the important part now is that like it's important how we can transition a lead that we got into bot lane into like a game winning play, or basically into like winning games, because I will show you the scoreboard and the game is like not looking good at this point. So you see here that my top lane is like pretty far behind. Same thing for my mid laner. The only real lane that is ahead is bot lane. Jungle is totally fine as well. So it will probably be me plus my jungle and support against enemy solo lanes. So now I'm going mid lane. I'm just chilling here. I'm trying to receive a wave. I shouldn't get hit this much. I'm trying to play a bit aggressive and trying to like auto this Malzahar, but he's just ulting me. And sadly, this was Ari behind. She had a charm, so I did a huge mistake here. That is like pretty game losing already. Still, Malzahar is doing the same mistakes, so then we're getting like a few kills back here. I'm flashing into the turret. This is something that like would be discussable for sure if it's like good, but like I know I'm getting basically a free double kill. And I'm also getting a shutdown onto the Malzahar. So it's debatable if it would have been better to like be happy with what we got and just pushing the waves. But getting a double kill here and a shutdown is also not bad. So my wave in mid lane is in a pretty good position. I'm just running mid. You see that all of my team is dead already. So now the enemies potentially have a timer. They push out top, they push out bot. It's not that good for me that I'm hitting this mid lane, but like in game, I feel like I need to take some sort of risk. But obviously, like the risk of me dying and then being like not in time on the map again is like way higher, and it will also be way worse than as if I would like actually get like what, like 2 turret plates here or something, you know. So risk is really high and the reward is pretty low for what I'm getting. Now I'm dead again, 30 seconds, so a pretty bad play from me. I should not do this. And yeah, even though things are like not going great and I'm not playing the best League of Legends I could possibly play, or like I'm playing too cocky, too risky, the game is still completely playable. So we are getting a good fight, and you already see like I of course try to focus on my waves, but I'm also looking to join a lot of fights. Just getting a free kill here onto the Kazakhs, and now moving bot lane because I thought, okay, I can kill the Kayn. If I cannot kill the Kayn, the mid lane wave will be in a fine position and I can just push out bot lane waves. So here I'm just pushing out waves, and then you will see I'm just basing. Okay, now I'm back to base and getting my BF and coming back to lane. So now I'm already thinking, okay, like every single time you're jumping into mid game as AD carry, like prioritize your mid waves, you know. Whenever you can like take a wave for free, like I'm doing here, for example, or kind of like cheat a wave, cheat a prio, like however you want to call it, it's great if you can actually do that. So now here I kind of wanted to take it. We knew that the enemies are on Drake. The enemies are still stepping up on mid lane, and even though I didn't play it like that good mechanically, we're still getting a double kill. So that was really nice. And the enemies just trolled here on this mid lane wave, and now really important timer. A lot of people would always like chase down this Kayn, but what I'm doing is I will base soon, and I see that my Gnar is like hitting and probably taking the next mid lane wave. So what I'm doing instead to make like the map great is I'm going base and I'm catching this top lane wave, because already here I see that, okay, there's a huge top lane wave coming in and I'm already pinging on my way to top lane. So my Gnar also knows that he can like freely take this mid lane wave, because I will get like 2 or 3 waves on side lane now. So yeah, I'm taking the golems, also getting the side lane wave in, just basing and reopening mid again. Yeah, and then my team took a really bad fight. They're already dead, so I'm just trying to like somehow not to die in this spot. But it's pretty hard, I would say. I'm losing my flash, and I didn't space this that good. I think if I spaced better, I should have gotten the kill onto the Kha'Zix, and you see here that the Kayn already, he's like super strong. It's like almost impossible for me to kind of kill him. So I'm basing, and also important, like when you see your solo laners are like not really willing to go side at this point, then okay, I see them going mid. Okay, then now I'm just clicking top lane. I should have clicked top lane probably also earlier again. So you see like what I did last time, I'm just pushing out sides, and I'm simply happy with it because it's a lot of resources I get. I have 245 CS now at 2230, so I would say that's like pretty good and I can be happy with it. Now like fights break out, and I knew that I'm like pretty strong, but same thing for the Kayn, so I could have played this better probably mechanically, and then like if I get one more out, he's just dead. So that's a bit unlucky. But so you see another death, but still my Vex was pushing bot lane, so we still got a lot. And I'm just going back to mid lane and trying to play my own game. You know, I'm not trying to make any miracles. Here I see that the Malzahar is actually caught and the enemies are doing Drake, so I tried to ult immediately. I tried to dodge the Malzahar Q, but yeah, not successful. Yeah, so now we're just getting free kill onto the enemies basically. I'm just focusing on my mid lane wave. And here a fight is actually starting. So I tried to play it, but the Kayn is this fat that it's like almost impossible. Even though I tried to dodge his W here, I said my Thresh missed the hook. And even though I'm dodging the W, I'm still dying. So it's really hard for me to play. But what's really important is that I actually got the 1k gold shutdown, which is obviously pretty huge for me and also for the game. The enemies got Nash though, which is horrible for us, but the game is not like that lost. I'm just like trying to make something happen, you know, like I'm pinging here on my way, like please anyone go in or like do something, and then eventually my Vex is actually finding ultimate and like going in. I immediately follow. I'm not scared at all. I'm just dashing in and we're getting free kills. The Kayn was bot lane. So like counting numbers again, this was like a really, really good fight for us. And this was kind of our comeback play. So if you have ideas in your own games and like you're mad about your teammates not doing anything, then at least try to give them the window of pinging, you know? That's really, really important if you actually want to get a better player, like communicate whatever you want to do. The next sequence, also something for maybe support players that are watching this, but also if you're like AD carry main, this kind of in-lane wards are really broken, because by this you will always see where the enemies kind of go. You know, like this, or like stepping up, or like, you know, it can also be a recall or something. It doesn't really matter. So here I'm on the mid lane wave. I'm thinking, okay, I will just receive this wave, or like not receive, but like I want to take this wave as high as possible. But what happens now is that I'm like, oh, this Aphelos is actually stepping up. So what I'm doing is I'm going into this vision pocket on the right, and I know that like obviously I will just win this 1v1 because I'm so fat. I'm just going in, taking my short dash and getting a free frag. So this was pretty creative. And then we're pushing mid lane, but the issue is that my side laners are like already in a bad position and they're kind of trolling. So I'm already scared of what they're doing on side. So I decide to not take this inhib. I'm even like pinging people out, you know. I know, okay, I need to go top lane. Please don't go more. Like this is really bad. We need to defend. And yeah, they are not, you know, but you are in base, or I'm in base here, so it's still fine. Like I'm having the game in my own hands. I can take this kill, I can push out every single wave in the game, and like try to somehow win this game. Obviously, it will be like a bit mentally draining if I will actually lose this game, but then it is what it is, you know. You try to play your best League of Legends, and if it's not enough, then you can just improve on it, because I also did that many mistakes in this game that if I would have done like some spacing things like way better, the game would be in a good state. Okay, and now when I'm joining already, I'm here on mid lane waves, and it's a pretty important sequence. So I'm like, okay, it's hard to kind of retake into the enemy jungle. So what we could have done is just threat to kind of end the game here on mid lane. So the enemies are forced to make a decision about like recalling, or like either doing Drake into recalling or like stopping or something. So I'm clicking here mid lane. I see over the side that my team is going in. I'm just seeing this Aphelios. So yeah, I'm just ulting him down. And now I see, okay, I'm in a potential 3v1 because my team is dead. Like this guy will also die. So what are my options now? I could go Drake and contest, which is like impossible kind of against their champs, but like in general in a 1v3, it's pretty hard nowadays, and the enemies have pushing sides. So what I decide to do instead though is I have a mid lane wave. Okay, I will just try to threat an end here. And I know that the enemies, like, they will come, they will flank me. I will need to fight, but this was like kind of my best shot of like potentially impacting this game. So now what happens is that the enemy Kha'Zix is coming behind. I just try to W him, so I can actually see him where he is. I use my E, I use my Q. I just try to dodge as many things as possible. Now the Kha'Zix Q will come. Sadly, I didn't dodge the Kayn thingy. Yeah, I flashed the Q. I got the shutdown on Kayn, which is like pretty huge already. And now the Malza is also troll flashing. Like, he's not getting in range, and the enemies are chasing me pretty far. And I have BT, so I see the wave, and I'm like, okay, these guys will chase me till I'm dead, or it will be a winning play. So all I try to do is like heal up on the wave, and despite the Ahri having ult, I'm still like kind of full HP, and then we will get a good fight here. The enemies used like kind of everything. So yeah, this was a great play. We got 4 kills again, and now I'm just pushing out waves. I'm taking camps still. I'm resetting for the TP that is like coming in, and you see I'm like trying anything to basically defend against this Kayn and also against the assassins. I'm already pinging like, okay guys, we need to do something. Like, Nash is up. I'm pinging on my way mid to like do anything, because I know that like I'm 360 CS, like 32 minutes, I'm like 6 items. I won't tip anything that is on CC. So I'm aggressively pinging in here. My Vex is actually getting ulti onto the Kayn, and also you see here like now my damage is too brutal, so it's like too much damage. And yeah, then we're just securing the Nash. Also in your rank games, please do it. Like, secure the objectives when they are free and game winning for you. So we're just taking the Nash, and yeah, now I'm not dropping the pressure. A lot of people would also just base, but I have nothing to base. I can just stay forever. And I'm seeing, oh, there's a Malza actually behind us. Wait, this guy is trolling. And as long as we're like kinda together and I have my barrier up, like also this Kha'Zix cannot really do anything against me. So then we're getting these 3 kills. We're just going to mid lane, and all I'm thinking about here when like playing this fights is now, okay, as long as I don't die in this fight, it will be super easy for me to play. So I'm just like taking my BT shield on the wave, trying to like dodge anything with my E. So even here, I'm like hitting the Nexus, the Aphelios is flashing onto me, and I'm just, if I can't die, then I will never lose this. So now the enemies are all dead, and I will get an easy end here. I hope you found this helpful. Feel free to leave me any sort of feedback in the comments, like what I should do better next time, what I like did good already, or maybe like what you are interested in. And if you are interested in more educational content, feel free to check out my coaching Discord or my Patreon, where I'm uploading my coachings, and I'm wishing you a nice day. Goodbye.